Think of your body like a pot of water on the stove. Food adds some heat. Illness adds more. But stress is like turning the flame up high even if nothing's in the pot yet. And if you have diabetes, this heat matters. Because when stress piles up, from traffic, money problems, family arguments, or even lack of sleep, your blood sugar starts to rise too, sometimes for no clear reason. You might say, "But I ate healthy today. I took my meds. Why is my sugar still high?" The answer might not be in your food, but in your feelings. That's what this guide is about. In the next few sections, you'll hear real stories from real people, young, old, newly diagnosed, and longtime diabetics who faced stress that affected their health. And you'll learn what they did to take back control. As you read, think about your own story. What's been turning up the heat in your life? What's one small thing that might help you turn it down? And to make it easier for you, we've created a free downloadable PDF with a stress tracker, story summaries, and easy tools you can try today. Stick around to the end for the link. By the end, we hope you'll feel encouraged to take one small action, even if it's just pausing to breathe, reaching out to someone, or writing your stress level down next to your sugar reading. Because here's the truth. Managing diabetes is already hard. You don't need stress making it harder, and you definitely don't need stress sending your health and your bills through the roof. So if you're ready to cool things down, feel stronger, and maybe even save money on meds and doctor visits, let's begin. Stories Sabina's burnout at breakthrough. Fatma is 42 years old, a mother of 3, and a full-time school teacher. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 3 years ago, and for a while she managed it well. She was checking her sugar regularly, cooking at home, even walking with her neighbor every evening. But then life happened. Her youngest son started struggling in school. Her husband's hours were cut at work. Fatima started staying up late doing lesson plans, helping with homework, and trying to hold the house together. And slowly, without even realizing it, she started skipping her walks. Her meals got more rushed. She didn't check her sugar as often. "I didn't stop caring," she said. "I just got tired. Everything felt heavy." Fatima wasn't overeating. She wasn't being lazy, but her blood sugar started climbing. Her doctor increased her medication. She felt guilty, like she was failing. What she didn't realize was that she wasn't just dealing with diabetes. She was dealing with diabetes burnout. The silent stress that doesn't show on a meter. Burnout doesn't come with alarms. It sneaks in through long nights, quiet worry, and the feeling of being always behind. Fatima had been caring for everyone else, but not herself, and her body knew it. Her stress hormones were constantly active, pushing her blood sugar up even when her meals were balanced. One day, her CGM showed a spike of 210, even though she'd only had a salad and lentils. That was the wake-up call. What helped Fatima reclaim control? She didn't have time or money for fancy programs. But here's what she did. 3 small, free changes. She started journaling every night, just 1 page. She wrote how she felt that day, even if it was, "I'm exhausted." It gave her mind somewhere to rest. She made a new rule. Check sugar once a day, not 5. That one habit felt doable, and it made her feel in control again, not overwhelmed. She joined a WhatsApp group for women with diabetes. Every day, someone shared a win or a struggle. Just reading "You're Not Alone" made her feel lighter. What happened after? 3 months later, Fatima's A1C dropped from 8.1 to 6.9. "I didn't change my medicine," she says. "I changed how I talk to myself." Her energy came back. She started walking again, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. And the best part, these changes didn't cost her a single dollar. Fatima didn't need perfection. She needed a pause. Have you ever felt burnt out like she did? What's one small thing you could try this week, just for yourself? Even one step, like writing 1 sentence at night or saying no to something that drains you, can start the shift. Story Tompes. The college stress trap. Marcus is 21, a college student studying engineering. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 12. By now, he's used to insulin shots and carb counting. But during exam season last year, something strange kept happening. Even on days when he ate clean, exercised, and got his insulin right, his blood sugar spiked. "It felt random," he said. "I'd be sitting still in the library just studying, and my CGM would beep like I'd just eaten cake." At first, he thought maybe his insulin dose was off, or maybe he had miscounted carbs. But after it kept happening, Marcus started tracking more than just food. He tracked his feelings, and that's when things started to make sense. When pressure acts like sugar. Marcus began using the notes feature in his CGM app. He wrote things like 10 a.m. U.S. studying for thermodynamics, feeling anxious. 4 p.m. Fought with roommate. Midnight, worried about passing. Every time he logged a stress-related event, his blood sugar had gone up 30 to 50 points, even when he hadn't eaten anything. It was like my body thought it was in danger just from thinking too hard, he joked. But it wasn't a joke. Stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol were quietly pushing sugar into his bloodstream, even though his muscles weren't using it. Marcus's new exam plan. It was free. With some trial and error, Marcus found what worked for him. Short breathing breaks. Every 90 minutes, he'd close his books, put on noise-canceling headphones, and breathe slowly for 5 minutes. Guided meditation videos. He used free ones on YouTube. His favorite, a 10-minute calm focus session before big exams. Realistic expectations. Instead of chasing perfect numbers, he aimed for steady patterns. I stopped panicking at every spike, he said. So here's a quick look at Marcus's numbers. During midterms, his average glucose was about 182, with more than 5 spikes a day. When finals rolled around and he added stress tools like meditation and breathing, his average dropped to 154, and the number of spikes got cut in half. Same food, same insulin, just less stress, and the results were clear. Expert tips: prayers can be as powerful as a meal. According to Dr. Lena Rao, an endocrinologist who works with college-age diabetics, mental stress can cause the same glucose spike as a small meal, and most people don't even realize it. That's why we always ask patients about sleep, anxiety, and academic pressure. Takeaway: Marcus didn't need new meds. He needed a new mindset. And the tools he used. Totally free. No programs, no apps with subscriptions. Just YouTube, breathing, and awareness. Could you try the same? Maybe start with one short break each day. Even 5 minutes can calm your brain and help your sugar too. Story 3. Lata and sleep loss becomes a sugar spike. Lata is 39 years old and works night shifts at a hospital as a nurse. She's also a mother of 2 and helps care for her aging father. Sleep. It's the one thing she never seems to get enough of. Lata was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 5 years ago. Her diet was okay, and she took her meds on time. But no matter what she did, her fasting blood sugar stayed high, especially in the mornings. I wasn't eating late. I wasn't binging. But my morning sugar just wouldn't budge, she said. And on the nights, she got even less sleep. It was worse. The invisible link between sleep and sugar. Lata's doctor asked her a simple question. How many hours of sleep do you really get? Her answer: 16 hours dangers, maybe 4 on good days. When you don't sleep well, your body makes more cortisol, the same stress hormone we heard about in Fatima and Marcus's stories. This cortisol keeps your blood sugar higher, even if you didn't eat anything. Poor sleep also makes the body more insulin resistant, meaning even the insulin she was taking wasn't working as well. Small fixes that helped Lata sleep smarter. Lata couldn't quit her job, but here's what she did. Magnesium-rich foods at dinner. Her doctor suggested leafy greens, almonds, and pumpkin seeds. These helped her relax at night. No screens after 10 p.m. She used to scroll through her phone before bed. Now she reads a book or listens to calming music instead. Kept a dark room. She bought blackout curtains, just $12 online, to sleep better during the day. Set a weekend sleep recharge. Even if just for 1-2 hours longer on her off days, she treated sleep like medicine, not a luxury. Expert tip. Sleep is free treatment. Don't skip it. According to holistic nutritionist Mayra Patel, people underestimate the healing power of rest. Good sleep improves insulin sensitivity, lowers stress hormones, and reduces cravings. And it costs nothing. Now take a look at Lata's before and after. She was only sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night, and her morning blood sugar stayed around 178. But when she added magnesium-rich foods, blocked out light, and gave herself just an extra hour or 2 of rest, her sugar dropped, her energy improved, and all without changing her medication. Takeaway: Leda didn't quit her job or change her meds. She added sleep like it was part of her treatment. And it worked. Ask yourself, are you treating sleep like it's optional or like it's part of your healing? You don't have to sleep 9 hours. Start with 30 more minutes tonight. That alone can cool the stress flame and keep your sugar steady. Story for Ahmed, a fighting stress on a budget. Ahmed is 56 and lives in a small rural town. He was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 6 years ago. He doesn't have a fancy glucose monitor or a gym membership. In fact, he used to skip doctor appointments, not because he didn't care, but because he couldn't afford the travel or the checkup fees. Everything was a stress, he said. Money, health, work. Sometimes I'd rather not know my sugar than feel bad about it. But over time, he started feeling more tired. His feet hurt more. His eyesight blurred, and one night, he had to be rushed to a clinic because his blood sugar was dangerously high. Not taking care of his stress was costing him more than just money. It was costing his health. Stress from survival, not luxury. Ahmed's stress wasn't about work emails or packed schedules. It was paying rent, stretching groceries, finding affordable meds, living in an area without a nearby hospital. These pressures kept his cortisol high and his sleep poor. And without time or tools to manage, his blood sugar remained elevated even on simple meals. How Ahmed fought back with simple tools. He couldn't afford therapy or supplements. But here's what he could do. Started walking after meals, as even 10 minutes made me feel better, he said. It also helped lower his sugar naturally. Cooked basic lentil meals. He used low-cost, fiber-rich ingredients all like dough, onions, tomatoes to stay full and manage sugar. Found a local men's group. At his mosque, he connected with others facing the same health issues. They shared tips, laughed, and walked together after prayer. Tracked sugar once a week instead of every day. It removed anxiety and gave him just enough insight without overwhelming him. Stress looks different, but it still hurts sugar. According to a diabetes educator working with underserved group, people think stress only comes from fast-paced jobs. But in rural or low-income settings, the stress is deeper: survival, safety, stigma. The blood sugar doesn't care where the stress comes from. It just responds. Let's bring it all together. Fatima used journaling and support to drop her AON. Marcus managed exam stress with free breathing tools. Leda treated sleep like medicine and saw real results. And Ahmed, he used simple walks, basic meals, and community to take control, even without money or high-tech tools. Stress affects blood sugar, but small changes can make a big difference. Why stress is sneaky and how to spot it early. Even though we've seen how stress affects different people, from Fatima to Ahmed, the tricky thing is stress doesn't always feel like stress. Sometimes it feels like being tired. Sometimes it feels like being short-tempered. Sometimes it just feels like you're in a funk you can't name. But behind all of that, your body might be quietly reacting, and your blood sugar might be rising without you knowing. That's why spotting the early signs of stress is just as important as tracking your meals or your insulin. Here are some real signs that stress might be affecting your diabetes, even if you're doing everything right. Physical signs on as red old tea. You're not sleeping well. Either you can't fall asleep or you wake up too early. You feel muscle tension in your shoulders, neck, or jaw. You're getting headaches more often. Your heart races even when you're not moving much. Emotional signs. You feel easily overwhelmed. Any small tasks feel big. You've lost interest in things you used to enjoy. You're feeling more anxious, worried, or sad, even if there's no clear reason. Behavioral signs. You're reaching for comfort foods more often, especially carbs or sugar. You're avoiding checking your blood sugar because you're scared of what you'll see. You're withdrawing from people, skipping calls, or not wanting to talk. If any of these sound familiar, don't beat yourself up. You're not weak, you're human. This is your body's way of waving a little flag and saying, hey, I'm under pressure here. How to do a simple daily stress check that costs nothing. Every evening, before you go to bed, try this. Rate your stress on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 SB1 totally calm, 10 totally overwhelmed. Write down one word that describes how your day felt. Tired, frustrated, rushed? Compare it with your sugar reading that day. Do this for a week. and you'll start to see patterns. Even better, you'll start to catch stress before it causes a sugar spike. Remember, you don't have to eliminate stress completely. That's impossible. But the earlier you notice it, the easier it is to manage, before it becomes burnout, exhaustion, or a hospital visit. This tiny daily check. It takes 2 minutes, costs $0, and could save you time, energy, and money in the long run. You're not alone, and you're not powerless. These 4 stories came from very different lives. Different jobs, backgrounds, ages, and problems. Stress was raising their blood sugar and costing them health, peace, and money. They didn't fix everything overnight. They didn't need expensive plans. They each started with one small change. And so can you. Which story did you connect with the most? What's one simple thing? A walk, a journal, a quiet meal you could try this week? Leave a comment or share this with someone who's also juggling diabetes and daily stress. Your voice could help someone else feel less alone. Next up, Part 2, Deeper Struggles, Stronger Comebacks. In the next part of Real People, Real Stress, you'll meet a teen girl bullied for her diabetes, a newly diagnosed man confused by his diet and numbers, a retired caregiver on the edge of burnout, and a veteran fighting trauma and sugar swings. These stories are raw, emotional, and inspiring, and you'll see how even the hardest stress can be managed, one smart step at a time. Don't forget to download your free PDF toolkit. It includes story highlights, a daily stress tracker, and small habits you can try right away. Your next step could be just 1 page away. Don't miss it. And remember, you're stronger than your numbers. We'll see you in Part 2.